Hey guys, UltraMaximus back with another Transformers review. This time we're taking a look at a Generations 2 figure, and it's Megatron. I swore I have done this review before, but I was going through my videos and I guess I hadn't actually reviewed this guy. He's appeared in a couple of my videos, but I've never actually done a review of him. This, of course, is the 1992 version of the figure, and it doesn't have all the parts. It's missing some pieces off here. It's missing its missile, but that's okay. It pretty much gets the point across. I actually got this figure in Bowling Green, Kentucky at a local comic book / used movie / used CD / collector's toy and used magazine store. When I was staying down there to set up a call center, and I bought this on a trip back. I happened to stop in there, and it was like $5, so I went ahead and picked it up. Yeah, this is, I mean, I've had this guy for years, probably 6 or 7 years or so, and he's a little dusty. This figure is actually kind of cool. I do like the figure. There are, of course, some drawbacks to it, but this is a 1992 figure. I loved the concept of redesigning Megatron as a tank. It never made much sense to me that he turned into a handgun. It was so small. I mean, he was cool, you know, shape forming, size shifting, whatever your concept of that, whether you like it or not, whether that works for you or not. The tank was always cooler to me. It was cooler for him to turn into a big tank. It was just much more aggressive, much more dangerous, I thought, for the leader of the Decepticons. So I did enjoy it. I don't particularly care for the color scheme. This is very 90s, very G2. It is very green with the purple splotches. Just kind of get a close-up here of the robot himself. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's a good head sculpt. I do like the head sculpt. It is very, let's see if we can zoom in here a little bit. It's very reminiscent of the G1 head sculpt. I do like it. Now, this particular figure, I got to be careful when I transform it because one of the pieces is broken. There's a stress mark there, so I got to be very gentle when I transform him. This will probably be his last transformation into tank for the review. He's got this massive shoulder cannon, which I do like. I like how, you know, it's unfortunate he doesn't have his arm cannon, but I do like the shoulder cannon. I thought that was really, really cool. I like the camouflage. I just don't particularly care for the green and the purple. But, I mean, it is what it is. This is like classic Generation 2 color deco, for sure. Now, the thing initially had lights, or not lights, but it definitely had sounds that would say Megatron attack, and I think it had a cannon sound and probably some tank moving type sounds. But that's long since departed for this particular figure. He does have this kind of funky little M for Megatron, in case he was wondering. He's got his Decepticon G2 logos here with 81766 on the stickers. I'm not really sure what that means. And then you used to be able to have a target piece, and there's a little sticker here that's got crosshairs. I think there was a piece that hung over the top here that you could see through. Kids could see through to, you know, with crosshairs to attack the enemy, which was kind of cool, I suppose. Now, his legs, the biggest drawback I have to this figure is on his legs. These itty-bitty tiny little feet. They just look very, very silly. Other than that, I mean, the figure is very bulky. It's very large. I really like it. I'd like to get a redesign of this figure. We're kind of get this in the new Generations line where they are going to redo G1 Megatron as a tank, and it's very, very similar to this. which is very cool. But I'd also like to see a G2 version of it as well. Maybe the toned down green and purple. I don't know. Or I don't know. I think it would be fun to do a G2 version, and they probably will at some point because, well, quite frankly, it's easy to do a repaint on a figure. So, yeah, definitely cool. I just thought this toy was much more bigger, bulkier, and more leader-like for Megatron than the G1 figure, which is why I bought it, and it was super dirt cheap. So, definitely kind of fun. Let's get this guy into the tank mode and see what we think about that. Okay, so here we have Megatron in his tank mode, and yes, it is kind of big and clunky and kind of goofy. I do like it. I like the little Decepticon logo. It looks like Dr. Claw or something on there. Let's get a little zoom in here. Kind of cool stuff. Definitely bulky, definitely large. I like the fact that it's a tank. I mean, it's an actual tank. Of course, it's kind of loose and old, but it's an actual tank. It's not an H-tank. It's made to look like something you would actually see in a military, which is really, really cool. And it's just a big figure. I like that. Again, I mean, it's kind of old, but it definitely has its charm. I think we need more Transformers like this. Maybe not as super detailed in the transformations and the articulation of what the figure can do, because this thing was pretty standard. It had elbow joints, the hands didn't move, the shoulders moved up and down, and the legs moved and the knees bent. That was about it. But that's okay. I really would like to see a return to nice, big, bulkier figures, you know, with less articulation, you know, at the same price. You know, I don't mind paying $25 for a figure this big. And if it didn't have as much articulation, I'm fine with that. As long as the robot looks good and the vehicle looks good, I'm a happy camper. But yeah, so very cool stuff. I do like I said, I like the idea of him being a tank. So I'm very excited to see the 2015, or I guess the late 2014 to 2015 line of toys. I really am looking forward to seeing the new Megatron as a Voyager. I don't know if it's a Voyager or a Leader class that's going to be a tank. And they're also doing a retool of it as an Armada Megatron. Now, this particular figure was retooled into the Hero Generation 2 Megatron. I want to say that was a 93 or 94 model toy, and they did a little redeco of this, a little redesign with like the tank, the barrel itself. It had a squirt gun on it, and it was mostly purple, but it was pretty much the same tank. And I've actually, well, no, I do remember seeing that at KB Toys back in the day on the shelf. Yeah, I remember that. I just thought, wow, look, a big purple tank. That's kind of weird. But the funny thing, in this mode, the camouflage actually looks pretty decent. It looks ridiculous in the robot mode, but once you get it into the tank mode, sure, I can see that. I mean, it looks not too dissimilar from some old school tanks that used to actually exist. I do like how there's the gold chrome on the treads. So they got the dark green treads. Of course, some of it's starting to wear off. Again, this is just an old figure, and it was $5, so I can't really complain too terribly much. All around, I mean, this is a good little toy. If you can find this pretty cheap and it's in decent shape, I'd go ahead and pick it up and throw it in your collection, especially if you're a Megatron fan. You gotta have a nice, big, bulky, clunky, let's destroy everything Decepticon leader, right? I think so. So there he is, Generation 2 Megatron. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, thumbs it up. If you hated it, thumbs it down. Definitely share my videos, and please subscribe to my channel. I really do appreciate it. And as always, look for more videos in the future.